welcome to Monday Motivation. Today we'll talk about facing an uncertain future. It's a journey of body, mind, and spirit. So we'll talk through that. I want to say hello to all of you. My name is Terry Stirk, and I'm excited to be here with you today. If we haven't met before, I am a 2-time survivor of triple-negative breast cancer. I've been through many situations that have left traumatic marks on my body, my heart, and my soul. I now use my stories to serve women who have dealt with trauma, which includes breast cancer. Today, I'll begin with a question. Have you faced a time of uncertainty, whether it's due to your own health challenge or someone else's health, a loss, or another trauma, and felt fear or helplessness about the future? I think all of us would say yes to that question. Just as humans, we go through so much in our lifetimes that dealing with the uncertainty of the future is common and normal. First of all, facing an uncertain future means being in a situation where the upcoming events or outcomes are unknown. This can cause anxiety or worry about what might happen next. And in those situations, we often come up with theories or hypotheses, and then we scare ourselves and create fear, only thinking about what could happen. And it's because we don't see a clear path or direction in the future. Trauma creates instability, fear, and confusion. It makes the future seem impossible to navigate. Healing isn't about having all the answers, though. It is about responding with care and concern for our body and for our mind and our spirit while shifting our perspective through reframing. Today we'll learn how reframing can empower us to face uncertainty and take practical, meaningful steps forward despite the uncertainty. Examples of situations where someone might face an uncertain future: any sort of major life change, like a change in relationship through marriage or divorce, a job loss, or you're actively searching for a new job, or you're starting a brand new career. Maybe you've moved to a new city or a new state, or maybe economic instability has created issues for you. High unemployment or fluctuating market conditions. Other traumatic events create uncertainty, like relationship estrangement or family discord. Loss, the death of a loved one, and also the grief of losing a relationship where you're grieving the loss of someone who's still alive. All of these are grief situations, including a medical diagnosis or a chronic illness. All of these require ongoing treatment, and oftentimes the outcome is going to be uncertain. So much of our lives is uncertain. Trauma disrupts our sense of safety and control and predictability, leaving us feeling stuck After a traumatic event, you might feel like life will never return to normal. The brain often defaults to a worst case scenario in an attempt to protect us. Examples are constant thoughts like, what if I fail, or what if this happens? What if this happens again? What will I do? But using reframing, we're looking at a situation differently with a new perspective, shifting the focus from fear to possibility. When I learned this technique, it really changed and transformed my life. It acknowledges pain and emphasizes the potential for growth, resilience, and trust in your future. So let's talk about reframing. First, we'll talk about our body. Trauma impacts the body by activating our fight or flight or freeze response. Over time, this leads to physical symptoms like chronic tension, sleeplessness, and fatigue. So instead of viewing these sensations as a weakness, reframe them as signals that your body is asking for care. Rather than saying, I feel exhausted, I'm broken, my body is telling me I need rest to heal. Now, those are two different things saying the same thing, but the second one talks about the possibility. My body is telling me I need rest instead of I'm exhausted, I'm broken. Some practical steps to help you here. When we talk about rest, the reframing would say sleep isn't a luxury, it's a tool for recovery and strength. It's not being lazy or unproductive. So prioritize your sleep by creating a calming nighttime routine. Consider journaling or practicing deep breathing or meditation before bed. The other step with our bodies is movement. Reframing, we would say physical activity isn't about performance or competition. It's about showing your body love and safety. Gentle movement like yoga or walking or stretching reduces tension and helps regulate the nervous system. The third step is nourishment. Reframe says we're eating well instead of restricting or eating bad things. It's about equipping yourself for healing by eating good foods. So choose foods that nourish and energize your body. Start with small mindful changes, such as drinking more water or eating whole foods. Next, let's talk about reframing your mind and your mental health. Trauma traps us in patterns of fear and doubt and negative thinking, often magnifying what if scenarios. What if I never recover? Or what if I'm not strong enough? Reframing involves shifting focus from what if the worst happens to what small step can I take to move forward today? What small thing can I do to get me headed in the right direction? Reframing requires practice, but it also rewires your brain toward hope and resilience. And over time, you'll start feeling positive. You'll start feeling indifferent about some parts of your journey that just don't matter anymore. Practical tools to help with reframing your mind are journaling. And in this respect, you can write down your fears and then counter them with reframed truths. This can help you see that your fear is based on unknown factors that aren't even real. They're just made up in your head as possible things that might happen. Think of a mantra. Repeat affirmations like, I don't need to have all the answers. I just need to take one step at a time. Support. Speak to a mentor or a trusted friend who can help you reframe your complex thoughts. Reframing for the spirit. This is the third part of being human, so I never want to let it go. Trauma often causes us to question our faith, our purpose, or our connection to your higher power. For example, why did God let this happen? Or how can I trust Him with my future? Reframing your spirit involves seeing uncertainty as an opportunity to deepen trust and discover new strength in your faith. It's about facing the uncertain future with faith and grace. Some practical steps are prayer and meditation. Prayer is not about having perfect words. It's about connection with God in every season, the good and the bad. Be honest about your pain and doubts. Lord, I don't understand, but I trust you is an act of your faith, an act of your spirit. Promises. The unknown isn't empty. It's filled with God's presence and guidance. Reflect on your favorite affirmations or scripture verses like Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, plans to give you hope and a future. Creative worship. Express your journey through art or music. Use these acts to reconnect with your spiritual side and remind yourself of God's grace. Visualize. Imagine holding a candle or an open Bible in your hands. This is a good way to set yourself up for prayer or meditation. I have an action for you. Write down one negative thought that you have about your future, one worry or one concern. Here's an example to demonstrate. Your thought could be, I'll never recover from this. But if you reframe it, you could say, healing takes time, and I'm taking the steps to move forward. How does this shift feel emotionally and mentally? I'll put this action below the video, and I encourage you to take action. So I'll end today with a reminder. Healing doesn't mean the damage never existed. It means the damage no longer controls your life. So next week, we will continue discussion of reframing, but we'll learn how to apply it as a tool to your life. So you're using it every day to create assurance and rewire your brain. then you can have a positive view of your future. I'm cheering you on. Have a great Monday. Goodbye.